One of the things I love about this strategy is that as we do it, we are really feeling it, experiencing it. So it moves beyond just thought into felt, known experience. And that's what real integration means. It means that it is living inside us as a new state of wholeness and completion, in a sense. Not completion, but coming together so that we have more available for ourselves and for our life and for those that we care about. Okay. Marina, is that a question or a volunteer? Hi, Marina. How are you?
Hi, volunteer.
Oh, great, great. Okay, let's do it. I think you're the only volunteer, so I think that's perfect. Um, so Marina, tell me, was there a goal you had in mind for this session?
Yes. I have a goal and I would like my resistance to grow up.
Your resistance to grow up. So we jumped right to the resistance. So tell me about the goal first. Is there a goal not yet in reaction to resistance? Just so we kind of demo the strategy a little bit.
Sure. So the goal is to have regular coaching clients.
Okay, okay, great. So that's a pretty outward facing goal about your career to have coaching clients. How would that feel as an inner goal?
Empowerment.
Empowerment. Okay, great, great. Tell me about something you like to do already where you feel that sense of healthy power.
Mm, so at work, um, I am practicing making decisions and not worrying about whether I'm right or wrong or what's going to happen. Just go with it, with what feels right for
Okay,
me, and
great.
then just expressing it.
Beautiful. And if I remember correctly, you sometimes like to run, right? And you have a dog
Yes,
and you like to watch your dog play.
yes, and I got my approval to not move, so I'm staying.
Wait, I'm forgetting that part. Um,
Yeah, it's because you seem to have such a great memory. So I was about like for 5 months. I changed jobs and it involved
oh, yes.
moving
Okay,
out.
about the moving. I thought you meant something about the dog. I was confused. So you're not
No,
moving. That's great.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
so I'm a
Wonderful.
lot more calmer.
Okay,
And
good, good.
back
Okay.
to the dog and that, I love. So right here where we live, there's a lot of open space, and I love to just take her out and set her free and just watch her run. And especially I like to do that at sunset. So I like to see the sun go down and just let
Yeah.
it be.
Oh, I love that. So as you're doing this with your arms, do you feel a little bit more like can you bring yourself a little more into that space of being outside with her being free?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I have the whole experience of the air and the
Yeah.
sun going down.
And you know what I love about when you've explained this to me before? I felt, tell me if I'm right, that when you watch her run, you're also feeling that freedom inside. Yeah. And that's such a cool example of this real lived compassion and empathy that you have. It's very beautiful. That's why I never forgot that example. So we can use that as a resource and also this new way you have of making decisions at work. So how do you know that you're at that moment? I mean, is it a very clear thing, the decision making?
Mm, it's not really clear, but then I go like I can stay quiet or I can just express what I think needs to be done. And now, in the past, it used to be like, oh, we need to do this, and now it's like, um, I think this is what would work for the situation that we're in, and I want to hear like what everybody else thinks, and so we can just come. to a common ground and move on with what we need to do.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. So this is a very inclusive process for you. You're listening, kind of evaluating, and you're bringing things somehow together.
Yes, because my tendency used to be very polarized. I whether I'd be really bossy or I would be really quiet and I would just lose my power and just allow myself to be led whatever way it went.
Okay. That's great. So that's a pretty huge transformation. That's enormous. I mean,
Yeah.
congratulations. I love it. All right, let's take that kind of win you've had and bring it now to your planning about your goal of enrolling clients. What shows up for you right now?
Um, I really, I really enjoy enrolling clients. Like when I am having that discovery session, it's like I'm present and I'm there for them and I'm there to listen to what they need. And then I make a proposal and everything, like everything goes well. Uh, my issue is, well, you didn't ask about issue. So
No,
that's
that's perfect. Your issues, your resistance, or your obstacles. So it's here. Let's. I want to hear it.
so so the way I have been getting clients is through referral.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody knows that I do this and that I do my hypnosis work, and they'll talk to them about me and we'll get on the call and I do the call and then we'll have a session. And I'm talking specifically more about hypnosis, not really coaching sessions, although I tend to end up doing coaching.
Yeah.
But then like actively going out to the world and say, hey, my coaching practice is open, come on and do this with me that I'm so passionate about. I right now I'm feeling the passion and I'm showing it, but in real life it's like no.
Okay, so you sit back. When it's a no, you sit back.
Yes.
What does that mean for you, leaning back? I'm just wondering, could you ask your body what that means as a resistance?
um um it's a little bit of protection, like I'm protected from not knowing what I'm doing, and it's also, I guess, self-doubt, like I'm safer here doing what I know to do,
Okay.
instead of just doing these that I say that I'm passionate about and such.
That's great. So I love that you know the difference. You know the moving forward towards what you're passionate about, and you know the experience of keeping yourself safe. You can tell that difference. That's a huge knowing. A lot of people don't know that. So would you like to bring healing to that protection?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we could do this in a couple different ways. Let's start with bringing in even more resources. And then I'm just curious, do you feel like having a conversation with that resistance, or would you like to go more into the physical and emotional sensations? Does anything show up as being more your way?
Yes, definitely. Let's do the physical and emotional.
Okay.
I tend to be very rational. So
Okay.
what that does to me is, I like those kind of exercises or experiences work better for me because that way there's no way I can get in my head.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. All right. And so would getting in your head be part of an obstacle or resistance too? Or being logical?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. So they're really showing themselves very clearly. Yeah, I really value that. I just want to say I thank you for being so precise with that. So tell me more about what comes to you when I just say the word resource. I was explaining what resources are. What are some more resources that we could just feel right now, kind of from the neck down?
Mm, So I have like energy here,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like excitement.
Okay, great. So can you take a deep breath with that feeling? And would you like to spread it throughout your body? Yeah. How would it feel to imagine it even becoming more empowering or more loving? I don't know what word comes to you, and even surrounding you. What would that be like?
Um, it feels like I cannot do this.
You can't make it bigger.
No, I mean, I
Oh,
cannot.
oh, you can't lean back. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right. So is that's a good thing, I'm guessing, when
Yes.
you get really, yep. So the resource is working. What could we call this resource of the excitement as a feeling state in the body? Is there a name you want to give it?
So it's funny because I'm seeing like pink and red, and it feels really warm. So I'm gonna call it
Okay.
warm.
All right, warm, pink and red. And is there anything that you're drawn to do with it as an action, like send it out, bring it in more, imagine it in a certain way? What? Just open up to what comes.
It feels like sending it out and sharing it. Like I feel like if everybody could have a bit of this red and pink and warm excitement, then it would be just easier to have these conversations actively.
Wonderful. So let's just do that right now, and I'm supporting you. I'm holding grounded energy for you so that you're really stable and strong. And if you don't mind just taking a deep breath and letting that warm energy, those colors go out and around and in all directions. And invite any other messages they have for your coaching business, for healing any of your resistances. Just invite them to give to you. It might not be in words, and that's perfect. Let it come in other ways. And if you have any other resources, maybe from your path in hypnosis, maybe from your higher self, from nature, your love of your sweet dog that I got to just see walk by, um, your incredible work you do already, everything you do, just see what comes as another resource that wants to be shared in this moment with you to empower you and fill you up.
So so what came to me is curiosity. So and I guess the resistance is also okay, I need to do this perfectly for me to feel that I can do it. And that's what's being the choke holder here. So switching to curiosity, and just it's not only being curious about people, but curious about like just give it a try kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And see what happens, and then keep building. And I just keep remembering when I was a teenager, I was um, I was a gym instructor,
Hmm.
and for different reasons and bad self-talk, and that's way in the past, it was like, oh yeah, well, you need to go get a corp job, and that's what the real thing is, right? But my point is, what the way I did it is I am not leaving my gym work unless I can make the same money that I'm doing by doing both jobs, right? And I got to do it. And not only that, I grew in my career. And then here I am, where I'm like, yeah, now I'm good at this career and I'm stable and I'm thinking about switching to something else. But what's great about that is that I've done it in the past, and then when I started with the gym job and when I started at the IT job, I had to start somewhere. It's not like I was born perfect, right? I had to start somewhere and build and grow that. And I did that twice. So
Perfect. That's
I'm sure I
such good
can do that again.
information. Okay, I'm going to ask you to do something a little weird right now. Can you wiggle your fingers and toes?
Oh,
Can
sure.
you wiggle your fingers and toes? And can you bring all the curiosity you had when you were starting that other career or any time in your life you felt curiosity, anytime you feel it now when you're talking to a fellow student, whatever, right now about yourself, bring curiosity into your fingers and toes.
Okay.
Okay, it can be kind of funny. You might laugh. That's fine. So just feeling that curiosity, and you can stop wiggling them and see what it's like to just feel curiosity.
It feels playful, like I just talked about how I grew my career and all, but it was really more about, oh well, I need to get a job and this is what people do, versus, oh, this is really something that I'm into and let's do it. So it's a different feeling now. It's like, what would it really be like to first to share this with the world, because for the past 2 3 years that I've been doing this work, it's like, oh, I know I've transformed myself and this is why I want to share it. It's like people should just be doing this. But then it's also like, showing myself that, um, that I can do it. I like my job is good and all, but it's also a part of it. It's like a part of
Okay,
me
go
feels
back to the curiosity. Go back to the
okay.
curiosity. Just feeling that curiosity, wiggling the fingers and toes,
Okay.
feeling that curiosity. And now we're going to do something really interesting, bringing in that resistance and notice what the resource of curiosity, of that warm light, of that freedom when you're connecting with your dog running, um, taking a deep breath and just allowing that resistance to be okay in the space of resources. Curiosity, excitement, that warmth, those colors shooting out all around you as rays of light. And tell me, what does resistance do in this atmosphere?
uh, it's kind of like this, like grumpy,
Oh, okay, okay.
like what are you
Yeah.
doing, kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, what would you now, Marina, like to, how would you like to playfully get curious with resistance? Give it a new shape, a new attitude? What would be really, what would help it evolve?
Give it a new attitude, definitely.
Okay, what would that attitude be?
Playfulness.
Playfulness. Okay, all right. If you want to turn off your camera, you can for a second because I want you to do something, or you can leave it on. You're pretty brave. Whatever you want to do, you can leave it on.
Okay.
Make the most playful face you can think of.
Oh, I actually have a something for that. Okay,
Okay.
this is going to be an experiment.
Okay. Great.
So this is my playful state. So I'll just go like this and I'll make these weird sounds. So it's like and then that cracks me up.
Okay. How is resistance right now?
uh, Smaller, yes.
Yeah. What do you think that form of protection is saying it wants for you physically? You said resistance is protecting you from going out there. What do you think she wants, or he, or whatever we call it? What do they want for you?
To protect me from being shamed.
All right, that was very clear. Yeah. How old do you think that resistance is, that protection?
Really old, like many decades old.
So it's a younger you? It's a younger part of yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does an age come to mind, a number?
Mm, somewhere between 5 and 8.
Okay. Let's make friends if that's okay with you. Let's make friends with resistance. So you said playfulness, curiosity, excitement works. Is there a place you can imagine visiting with resistance, bringing them to it, where there would be playfulness, curiosity, excitement?
I just had this memory of me playing at a friend's house, where we were literally digging the soil with our hands and seeing if there were like worms and that kind of
Ooh, that's a good one. Worms and digging with your hands. I really like that. Really,
thing.
the
Dirty.
texture getting dirty. So, can you imagine you now being with that younger part of yourself and the two of you doing that kind of digging and curiosity and the excitement? Don't worry, you can get a great manicure afterwards. Just what's it like to do that with her? How does she feel?
Um, it's like this younger self is telling me, my younger self is telling me, you used to enjoy these and it didn't matter.
Hmm. Okay. And so she's pretty cool. She wants kind of good things for you, huh?
Yeah.
What would you like for her?
For resistance.
Yeah, what would you like her to know, or how would you like her to grow? What kind of woman do you want her to become?
Hmm. I would like resistance to know that I acknowledge how she wants to keep me in a safe place, yet there's so much more of me to give that I'm not doing actively because of this thought of whatever, I'm going to be shamed, or it's not going to work out, or and then I'm going to be disappointed and all that thing. So thank you for that. Yet I know it's going to get intense now, but it's like, that this kind of thing, like when I'm in my rocking chair at 80 and I look back and I never tried it, I'm going to be like, why didn't I do it? So I'd rather it's not that it's going to happen, but I'd rather feel the pain of screwing up than feeling the pain of not having done it at all.
I love that. Okay. Yeah. So you immediately went to the future place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does resistance take that in? Does she agree with you?
She's going like,
Is there something you could give her or that she could give you that would make it easier to join together? Some kind of gift?
yes. Now I kind of got like this sovereign feeling of it's our life. So I'm including her. It's like our life, and the only thing that really matters is what we do, and that we know we're going to do it well because we really love this work.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Yeah. Okay. So you were just doing an integration there, right? You were integrating that younger part of you that is resistance and protective with you now, with your goal of doing this work and moving forward with it. So just take a moment now to appreciate the depth of that and allow the resources to surround you, inside of you. Take some deep breaths, staying in the body, and allow that joining with that younger part of yourself so that you can both evolve and be so much more. Just let it have its time. And you can breathe and exhale anything that's no longer needed. You might imagine this integration helping you in different ways in your life. You might imagine sharing about your coaching practice with others, really stepping forward into that path with that younger you enjoying it as well in her own way. And when you're ready, when you feel complete, you just let me know. Yeah? Okay. So, you're doing really deep integration here. And I'm just curious if anything sort of showed up as you were doing that.
Um, that realization of there was always a voice. Behave well, stay still, don't get dirty, that kind of thing. And now it's like that voice, I am the only one letting that voice in or not. And now it's like that voice is not going to come, and that's what I'm trying to say. I don't need to be concerned about it anymore.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Often those voices are someone else's, right? They're a parent or society, and then what you just explained is such a beautiful insight about now this is up to you. This is you. Yeah. I don't know if you felt this, so please tell me the truth. I felt you becoming very friendly with that younger part of yourself.
Yeah, like there was a release, and then it's like, don't worry, it's like I'll take care of the voices.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, what would the next step be now in your coaching practice? Or the first step in sharing yourself this way with the world?
That thing that I've been talking about forever and that I've been putting off forever as well, which is called the website.
Okay. All right. So, the first step to the website is.
So I want to start. I want to start helping people that suffer with anxiety.
Mhm.
Not kind of people that are into heavy medication or not, just people who really are aware that there's a better way of doing things.
Yeah.
So I know what my message is, and I know what kind of people I want to help. So the first part is like getting the copy. And again, I'm not going to get it like ultra perfect. And that's just, I help people with anxiety to move on and have the life of their dreams kind of thing. And come see me.
All right. Beautiful. So, do you think after our session you could write down a few sentences, 3 sentences, and just know you did it?
Yes, I actually have a kind of a draft. That's I'm just like you. I like to write by hand. That's how
Yeah.
I really feel connected. So I have it there. So the next step is to like read it and see if it still resonates, because I wrote it like a couple of months ago, and then just because I'm in IT, right? I mean, it's not like I'm a web designer or something, but I'm sure I can put a website together.
I know
So
you've got some tech skills though. I know from your work, right? You're
yeah.
pretty savvy. Yeah. Yeah. So that part won't be that's usually where people get a little more delayed, but you've already got those skills. So one thing I'm going to make a little suggestion. I don't actually really have no idea, Marina, if this would help you or not. But in a future session, what I would work with you on is bringing that same healing integration to the perfectionism, right? Because that was another resistance that came up.
Yeah.
Um, I would also like in a future session to know more about your relationship to higher self and more about your relationship to hypnosis and altered state, just so you guys kind of know like where my curiosity is and where we would go. But here's a suggestion about the perfection part. What about having three options and rotating them? Having the freedom to kind of randomly try different messages so you're not overly connected to just one.
Well, I actually love that. And there was a session where I can't even remember, but your message was, if you're somebody who's more like free flowing and really don't like to stick to schedules, like still build the schedule and give yourself options on what you want to do in each slot. And I thought that's so good because I don't have to be rigid about it, and yet I can have structure. So these I mentioned that because this is that exact same thing. You're right on spot. One other reason why I'm not there with my message is because, oh, is this going to be the only thing and I'm going to marry to this? And then I never thought about having three different messages and rotating.
Yeah, and it's actually, as business advice, it's just pretty solid. But also when it comes to feeling we have to be perfect, it's always a good idea to have more options.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I loved this session with you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Any
much.
yeah, any questions or anything you have?
No, just
No?
a lot of gratitude
Okay.
for everything, like the couple of interactions that we've had during this process and this one, and pretty much like the community, your team, and all the training that I've done since 2 years ago. It's like I'm really grateful, and also to have had this opportunity to work this with you.
Oh, thank you. Me too. I'm very grateful. Thank you. And take a little time now to move or do what you need, okay? Don't jump into a coaching